Hello friends, today I am going to reveal some true facts of new research on science and abundance of rare isotopes in a planetary nebula. But first of all, I request you to please share and subscribe my channel for getting my informative true facts videos uninterrupted. Please note that subscription of my channel is free of cost. Now, an abundance of rare isotopes in a planetary nebula. Observations reveal that a particular planetary nebula means the ejected envelope of an old star, is unusually enriched in rare carbon, nitrogen and oxygen isotopes. The finding could help to explain the origin of these isotopes. The origin of the chemical elements in the universe is one of the most fascinating and enduring mysteries in astronomy. Progress so far has come from studies of stars, but here only elemental abundance can be determined reliably. Isotopic ratios are more difficult to obtain. Writings in Nature magazine studied the composition of young planetary nebula K4-47, a glowing shell of gas and dust that formed from the outer layer of a sun-like star and that was thrown off during the final stage of the star's evolution. The others find that the nebula is unusually enriched in rare isotopes of carbon 13C, nitrogen 15N and oxygen 17O. The measured composition of K4-47 shows that the object is more enriched in these isotopes than in almost any other nebula or star examined so far. The scientists finding such a big deal. For one thing, it seems to suggest that stars similar to the Sun can make these rare isotopes, a result that was not expected. Computer simulations of Sun-like stars have shown that they can be factoried for carbon and nitrogen, but only in the form of dominant isotopes 12C and 14N. Furthermore, theories predicts that the rarer isotopes are not made inside stars that become planetary nebula. What about direct observations of aging sun-like stars as opposed to planetary nebula? Such observations are difficult, but the available data mostly agree with theory making K4-47 a particularly unusual object. The only instance in which the isotopes 13C, 15N and 17O are synthesized at the same time is an explosion. CNO cycles are a collection of a thermonuclear reaction that involves the capture of protons by isotopes of carbon, nitrogen and oxygen. These reactions are the workhorse of stellar energy production but do not make much 13C, 15N and 17O. Generating these isotopes requires conditions of high temperature and density as well as plenty of protons. Such a mechanism is known as the hot CNO cycle. So far, the product of the hot CNO cycle have been found only in the classical nova, nuclear explosion that occurs in short-term binary star systems. So, how can the presence of the rare isotopes in K4-47 be explained? One mechanism proposed by scientists is that the progenitor of K4-47 underwent an explosive event called a helium cell flash immediately before it became a planetary nebula. This is in essence a mixing event that causes hot material from the core of a star reaching the 12C to be moved to a cooler region where hydrogen fusion reactions are occurring. The mixing elevates the temperature of the cooler region, enabling reactions of the hot CNO cycle to proceed before the material is expelled to space. Although the explosive nature of these scenarios is unusual, similar mixing that had previously been proposed to explain the composition of other chemically peculiar stars, such as a Shakurai object also known as V4334 The detailed computer simulations are needed to test this mechanism. If it can be verified, it will be evidence of previously unknown stellar behavior that provide insight into how rare isotopes of common elements are generated. But there are other possible explanations. The isotopic compositions of K4-47 is similar to that of J-type carbon stars, which has ratios of 12C to 13C of less than 15. The sequence of events that lead to a J-type star is unknown, and their existence is not predicted by the theory that describes the evolution of single stars. It has been suggested that J-type stars still result from binary evolution in which two stars orbit each other and interact. It is important. In which two stars orbit each other and interact. Such interactions have been proposed for all planetary nebula that like K4-47 have an hourglass bipolar shape and highly collimated outflows of materials. Observations show that the central stars of planetary nebula are more likely to be binary stars than was previously thought, giving further credence to this idea. K4-47 could therefore be the product of an interactions or merger between two stars. Alternatively, K4-47 might not be a planetary nebula at all. It has been speculated that it could be a planetary nebula mimic in which the extended nebula was ejected by a pair of interacting binary stars during an explosion. The isotopic composition of K4-47 could be explained if the interaction of these stars resulted in an explosion akin to a classical nova that would allow for the hot CNO cycle. One prediction of this scenario is that the gas would be ejected at high velocities as such ejections have been observed. The scientists say that they have not seen these high velocity outflows of materials, so they rule out a nova-like explosion as an explanation. But this finding is in contrast to previous studies that have observed high velocity bullets of material puffing through the surrounding medium. So who is right? Answering this question, we require follow-up observation of K4-47 using astronomical instruments that can extract high resolutions as spatial, dynamical and chemical information about the object. Either way, K4-47, which is rich in the product normally associated with a nova, but is embedded in some things that looks like a planetary nebula, in one of the most isotopically unusual astronomical objects studied so far, along with C.K. Valbecule. Detailed computers modeling and follow-up observations are required to tease out of true nature of the progenitor of K4-47. Such work could tell us something about how the rare isotopes of carbon, nitrogen and oxygen are made in stars. In my next video, I will reveal some true facts of other important topics. Thanks.